Warren Buffett, the most legendary investor in our day and age, is famously quoted as saying, "You should be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful." Now, with the coronavirus pandemic going around, everybody is flipping out, everybody is losing their minds. So they're worried not only about the virus itself, but they're also worried about the greater economy as a whole. The entire world economy has more or less come to a grinding halt. And so these people are freaking out about the economy, and they are trying to unload all of their shares in all of the stocks that they own for fear that the price is going to go down. And of course, then with more people selling stocks than are interested in buying stocks, that of course causes the price to plummet. Now the market is currently down roughly 30% from its highs of what it was a month or two ago. So this poses a fantastic opportunity for us to be greedy when others are fearful. So anybody that knows me knows that I am going all in on the stock market right now. I am full steam ahead when it comes to being in buy mode. Except for a rainy day fund that I have set aside for a worst case situation, all of my extra money currently is being funneled into the stock market. Because it's times like these that you actually want to be buying. And that's really hard to do psychologically. It's very easy to buy stuff when you see it continually going up and up and up in value. But it's a whole lot harder to buy something when it's in the red every day. But in the long run, this is exactly what we want, because being in the red currently means that we are getting a discount of what it was worth just a few months ago. Now, I don't know how long the coronavirus thing is going to last, but realistically, I don't foresee a global shutdown lasting longer than a month or two, 3 at the most, and then things, I believe, will slowly begin to get back to normal. It's not going to happen quickly, it's not going to happen overnight, but as people become more and more secure with the situation, and as medical comes out with some sort of a cure or vaccine, people will slowly begin to get back to work and the economy is going to pick back up. And when it does, those stocks that we bought at a rock bottom price are going to suddenly head back towards their previous highs. But what stocks am I buying in particular? And the answer to that is easy. I am buying what has been hurt the most, and that's going to be airline stocks. And I am confident in these airline stocks for 2 reasons. One, it's just a sound business model. A year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever the case may be, people are still going to be traveling. They are still going to be flying. This mode of transportation, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Yes, coronavirus is a hiccup, a speed bump, but it is not a roadblock. It is not going to be the end of the air transportation business. Once this coronavirus pandemic has passed, the airline industry will come back in full force and it will once again start to climb in price back to its previous highs. Now, another reason that I feel confident about this airline industry as a whole is I believe that the government is not going to allow the airlines to go bankrupt. They simply won't. The government, I believe, is going to continually bail the airline industries out and provide loans or grants in order to keep the industry functioning while coronavirus is doing its thing. That way, once it's over, we are able to actually return to normal. Because if all the airlines go underwater and they fail, then even once coronavirus is done and over with, the economy is going to have a hard time coming back, because one of that major modes of transportation, both for people and for supplies, is no longer going to exist. So I think the government is going to keep these airlines from going bankrupt. So I think that it is a relatively safe investment given the potential returns available. So what kind of theoretical returns might be possible? Well, Delta Airlines traded at a price of roughly $63 per share just a few months ago, whereas now it can be had for under $20. So this is basically buying a stock for a third of the price of what it was a few months from now. So regardless of what happens today or next week or next month, the industry itself is going to struggle for a little bit. But a year from now or 2 years from now, I think Delta is going to be back on its feet and they are going to be profitable again. And I think that price is going to skyrocket up from the current value of about $19 and change of where it's currently sitting at. And the same thing can be said for other airlines such as United. A few months ago, United Airlines was trading at almost $94 per share, and now it can be had for about 22 bucks. That means it's currently trading at 25% of what it was just a few months ago. So a few months ago, you might be able to buy one single share, but today with the drastic cut in the price, you would be able to buy 4 shares for the same total dollar amount. So regardless of what happens in the next few weeks or the next few months, I'm not really worried about it because I am not in a position where even if the stock price goes down even further, let's say from $20 a share to $15 or $10 per share, I am not in a position where I need that money so drastically that I'm going to panic and sell as it starts to go down in value. I think that this is going to be something that you need to buy and hold for at least the next few years, maybe up to 3 years or so. So if you are going to buy into some of these airlines, you need to be thinking a little bit more long term and not be so short-sighted. So I plan on holding these stocks for at minimum a year or two, because I think that's going to be how long it takes for these things to start getting back off the ground. But if they return back to their former glory and their former price, which I believe they will at some point, then that is going to be a 4x return on your investment. Now, it should be said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You need to do what fits into your investing strategy, and this information is listed purely for entertainment purposes. But if you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe. I have new content all the time.